Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Klonoa for the PlayStation 1. Last time we beat Vision 1, and today we're heading off into Vision 2. Assuming that my controller battery doesn't die on me because I forgot to charge this in between sessions. Oh boy, I gotta get myself readjusted here because I went and took a week break from recording this game because I had so many things on the agenda as far as work is concerned. So yeah, you might see me being a bit rustier than usual because yeah, that'll be something to look forward to, I guess. But today we're going to be in the, I think it's called the Ugandan forest or something, or nah, that's not it. I don't remember the name of the place exactly, but it's quite a contrast compared to the last area we were in, where it was kind of bright, colorful, windy, and then you come here and it's all dark and drab, and even the music itself is kind of depressing a little bit. I'm not saying this will be a complete big blow in overtone here or anything like that, but let's just say it's a little bit of a foreshadowing. Let's just put it like that. Oh god, don't you dare murder me. Alright, so you might have noticed these really large, disproportionate looking enemies here and there and off and down. Off and down? Does that even make any fucking sense? Anywho, these guys are a bit different from your typical Moo. That's the name of the basic enemies, the Moos. It's kind of cute, I know. But, these guys, you can't actually kill them off, by grabbing them normally. If you use your wind bullet, to strike them down, instead of, being grabbed as you would normally with any other enemy, in their case, what will happen is that they'll inflate like a balloon, like any other enemy, basically. And the thing is, as they're inflated, you can actually kind of use this to your advantage in a few select scenarios and puzzles, where with him being inflated, it actually counts as him not having a damaging hurt box. So you can use his body to like reach areas you couldn't before, use it as a stepping stone, the whole 9 yards basically. Even touching him from the side won't do anything, so yeah, not too much to worry about there, I'd suppose. Stop! Intruder! Who are you? With an exclamation point. But wait! I'm Klonoa from the Wind Village, on my way to see Granny. Oh, sorry. Strangers wandering around recently. Strangers? Door with picture of key. Need key. Oh. Well, thank you. But one key. One door. Forget not. What are you, Yoda? Okay, so, we just, got introduced to a new mechanic. So, if you've played something like, say, Zelda or Final Fantasy or anything of the sort, you'll know that keys unlock different doors and stuff, as if that wasn't already obvious enough. And Klonoa kind of takes this a step further, in which this game also has keys of its own accord, and what this creates is multiple possibilities where you will have branching pathways of which you'll need to like further trek across in order to find different solutions on how to move forward. And Klonoa 1, I'd like to say, does a pretty good job at that, actually. Not like a terribly great one, but like keys are used to great accord in creating scenarios in which you'll need to like kind of scout out the level and find things before moving forward. And that's something that I'd like to say that Klonoa does a pretty good job at, is basically incentivizing the player to explore the entirety of the level. Because like for the most part, if you're giving me too many collectibles or next to no collectibles, I'm just going to breeze through your stage. Like, simple as that. Like, I don't care how good the stage design is, more or less. But if you give me, like, an incentive, like, say, with the Phantomile prisoners, and then add keys to the side, then I'm going to feel incentivized to be like, oh, hey, why don't I take this other pathway, or maybe try to check off the ledge of this area or something. I'm just trying to picture scenarios in my head, I guess. And do that. And it'll give me a good feel of the level, give me a good knowledge of how other stages will work in regards to finding things. And I think it's pretty damn good game design, if I do say so myself. So one thing you might have noticed with a few of those eggs, and it's something that can catch a lot of people off guard when they're trying to go out and find all the Phantomile prisoners, is that sometimes the bubbles or eggs will not always be present when you come across them. In some cases, you will need to, like, walk through pre-designated areas for them to spawn, and these aren't too terribly out of the way. Like, I've never had too much of an issue with this, but I know some people probably will if you're not good at getting 100% completion in video games in general. But that's definitely something to look out for. Like, say for example, like there is a small area to the right of a door that no one in their right mind would have any reason to go to because, well, it looks like there's nothing there, right? Wrong. You go to the right of the door and then suddenly an egg pops up. And that's about as, you know, as far as it goes, really, as far as hidden eggs. Like, you're never going to be doing anything super crazy to, like, have them pop up or regenerate or something, so yeah. No can do. The fairy tree is withered, so you can't go any further. You mean we're stuck? We came here for no reason? Hey, who are you? I'm a soldier from Jugpot, the Water Kingdom. I was on an official mission to see Forlock's granny. I really should have washed my throat out before I did this recording. Say, did something happen in Jugpot? That's a state secret. Meanie butt. Sigh. And we thought Granny could save our king somehow. King? Save? Nothing. It's not safe out there, so little kitty should go home. Something's strange. I wonder if it has something to do with Gaudius. Looks like we can't go any further, so maybe we should go to Jugpot. Let's go. So yeah, we basically went here for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, there will be plenty of moments like that, don't you worry. But yeah, what's interesting about Klonoa's take on different visions is that I'm not gonna save just yet. What's different about, like, Klonoa's take on different visions and such is that sometimes, like, they're not entirely relegated to, like, their own different kingdoms. Sometimes you'll have to, like, do things like this, where you start off in one kingdom and then figure out, oh, I should probably go somewhere else in order to move forward. And that's not the case with everything, mind you. Like, there are some cases in which, you know, the entire vision takes place in one kingdom, but it's enough to spice things up, more or less. So yeah, if you couldn't already tell, a lot of Klonoa's, like, level themes stem from, like, basic elemental, like, themes. I use themes in this twice in the same sentence. I apologize. But yeah, like, you have your wind, you have your earth, you have your water, you have your fire. With your own different takes on each of the elements. Like here, for example, you notice that, oh my god, this is kind of weird. This is like some fucking Alice in Wonderland shit. With the fucking waterfall going backwards. And you can kind of see, just looking around the area, that it's all very dry and stone-like. basically implying that all of the plant life around it is kind of going to shit, and we need to do something about that. So we're gonna take this move right here and actually get up here on our first try. Oh my god, I swear to god, I usually have trouble doing that, but thankfully the game had other things in mind for me today. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. Oh god. Well, that worked out quite well. Just when I was starting to compliment my good gameplay, like that just had to happen. And yeah, this is just another foreshadowing of the type of platforming we'll be seeing later on in the future, in the sense that yes, there will be multiple tiny platforms. Yes, you will have to deal with Klonoa's shitty traction, and I swear to god, it's probably my biggest gripe with the whole game, quite frankly. And it especially gets bad once you get to Vision 5, and that shit is in spades. Not that Klonoa is a terribly difficult game. Like, I'd say, like, it's pretty medium as far as difficulty is concerned. Like, it's not too terribly easy. Like, I guess you could say the first 4 visions are, but it's not, like, so hard that it's, like, you know, unbearable or anything of that accord. I'm pretty sure I've said this already. I'm already forgetting what I've stated previously, but, yeah, I have no problem or gripe with, like, the, difficulty curve of Klonoa whatsoever. I think it curves just right around the right point in the game, despite what others may probably think, but, that is all but opinionated. Opinionated, my friend. I can't fucking talk. So, yeah. Did that no just jump out of the way? What the fuck? I guess he was scripted to do that. Huh. Not gonna lie though, looking back to setting this all up, this was kind of a pain in the ass to do. Because, this was supposed to be my first Elgato, like, Let's Play. And if you couldn't already tell, this is being streamed in, not 480p like any other standard definition a playthrough would be, but, like, for some reason, it's, like, defaulted to 360p for some arbitrary reason. I don't really know why. I think it has something to do with, like, the PS3's weird videos resolution settings. Like, you have to, like, go and manually set it up. You can't just be like, oh hey, I'm going to plug this into the AV port and boot up the game, or oh hey, I'm going to boot this up into the HDMI port and boot up the game that way. And I can certainly see why they went with this solution, but I don't recall the 360 ever having that issue as far as switching graphic ports were concerned. So yeah, I guess because of that, like, not only did me being forced to use my standard definition card kind of, like, worsen the quality a little bit than what I would have wanted, because the Elgato was just... Because, like, here's the thing, because the Elgato, for some stupid reason, like, it's got all of its... Oh my god. It's got all of its preset, like, consoles of which you can record or stream off of, right? And PS3 simply isn't an option. And you have to go through all this fucking complicated bullshit just to set it up. And it's so weird. Like, why do I have to buy all of these cords? I'm already on a budget as it is, damn it. And it's like... With me having to already spend, like, over $100 on the Elgato alone, like, I don't need to be adding any more financial, like, burdens on myself than I already have. I'm not trying to sound like a cheapskate here, but, some of us are trying to make a profit in the real world. But, yeah, in case you were wondering why, you know, me playing this on a PS3 isn't being scaled to HD or widescreen like it should be. That's why, because I didn't want to take the time to set this up with the Elgato using so much trial and error with chords that I probably don't even have. Well, I know I don't have them for a fact. So, instead, it's like, yeah, I might as well just take the easy route and use the standard definition device that I've been using for my other playthroughs, like the Metroid games and Super Mario Land 2. And then yet it just ends up being worse than usual, and I don't know why. And that's what I'm saying, is that like it probably has something to do with the fucking way the video output setup is going through the PS3 menus and such. So yeah, if you couldn't already tell, let's get back to talking about the game, because again, I'm doing such a poor job at that. As you've probably noticed, these guys are holding shields because moves are like the most cleverest little things, let me tell you. Basically, you cannot grab them if they have a shield put up in front of their face. It's about as simple as basically just going around the shield and grabbing them from the side or behind or what have you. It's not terribly complicated, but unfortunately, not all enemies have the same luxury, because those enemies right there, I'm not very good with like a lot of the Klonoa enemy names. I'm sorry. I know I have a Klonoa 2 instruction manual, like just sitting off to the side, that's got like an index of different enemy names, but I'm not going to bother with that at the moment. And yeah, basically those enemies are like the Gordos of Klonoa, and what I mean by that is that they are indestructible tools of death. You can't do anything about them, and there are plenty of scenarios where they'll just be placed in your way and you can't do a damn thing about it. But yeah. So what do we have here? Thank you, I'm saved. No problem. What happened here? Well, weirdos came here and messed up the castle. Maybe it was Gaudius. Right. If you're going to the castle, I can take you there. Really? But, can you save my mommy? I want my mommy back. Back? She's probably under some evil spell. Okay, gotcha. We'll give it a shot. Thank you. Thank you, hop on my back. I'm Carol. Pleased to meet you. Same here, I'm Klonoa. I'm Hupo. Everybody's getting along so nicely! Woo! As if this game couldn't exaggerate enough that it's a game really targeted at kids, but with a few emotional themes that are targeted a bit at the adults too. Like, I remember reading in like a developer interview somewhere that like the creator like had in mind that he wanted to make a game that was split between, well, he wanted to make a darker themed game, and like Namco basically told him no. So he went for the next best approach, which was to make a kids, not a kids, but like somewhat of a kiddie looking game aesthetically, but have like emotional themes and impacts that older generations of gamers could appreciate. And I'd like to say it does a pretty good job, but quite frankly, I'd like to save that discussion of me going into further detail as for why for another time. But right now, we've got a boss to fight. You're mine, brat. And I did such a fantastic job just neglecting to read off the dialogue. Oh, I'm not paying attention. So, how does this fight work? Basically, it's a bit more involved than the previous boss fight. What you want to do is you need to jump over these spike ball things, and pay attention to the king, because at oftentimes you'll be riding one of these things for some arbitrary reason, and what you want to do is keep an eye out for that. Pick him up as he's making a lap around the stage, and you want to throw him at Pamela, the fish thing in the middle, once she comes up and tries to strike you, because you can't really just straight up hit her from this angle. You have to wait for her to come out and attack you first. And really, like, aside from the spike balls and the bubbles, there's really not too much to look out for. But at the same time, the game is doing a pretty good job at teaching the player that, oh hey, we're gonna kind of stick with mostly the same strategy as the previous fight. You know, grab an enemy and toss it at the main body or boss to deal damage. But we're gonna make it a bit more involved and more or less there are more things to avoid while you're at it. And that's kind of like the difficulty curve for bosses in Klonoa in a nutshell. Like, it's less about like pattern recognition, I find, and more about like trying to multitask around avoiding things on reaction while also trying to find what you need to toss at the boss or whatever to tack on some damage. And that's all she wrote. You call yourself the king of Jugpot and you get beaten by this brat. Weakling, useless, no good. Oof! I'll be back. Oh, what am I doing here? I see, so I was under a spell cast by that Gaudius character. I have a feeling he's plotting something against the Moon Kingdom. If that's the case, Forlock's Granny is in grave danger. Granny knows a lot about ancient legends. She should know something about the Moon Kingdom. And that's why Jugpot's water was made to flow backwards. To kill off Forlock Forest. What an evil, ruthless fiend. Klonoa, we have to go back to Forlock. Then I shall return the water back to normal. The withered trees should come back to life. Carol, here I am. Take them back, Carol. Thank you, Klonoa. Mommy's back to normal now. Great, I'm glad. Let's get going. Oof. Every time I hear them say oof, I immediately think of that stupid meme that everybody's been spurting out lately. Thank you, Carol. You're very welcome. Take care. And with that, that was Vision 2. We got all of our Phantomile prisoners, and we're on the right track. So, with that being said, that's going to be the end of part 2 of Let's Play Klonoa for the PlayStation 1. Next time, we're going to head off into Vision 3 and hopefully make some more progress. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all then.